What is going on? Matt with ZL1 Addons, and today we're going to show you how to install our front receiver on your Ford Explorer. This will be the case for any vehicles that do not have a threaded insert behind your tow hook door. There are some instances where these vehicles do have a threaded insert. If that's true, you do not want to buy this product at this specific product listing. Please email us at info@zl1addons.com and we can get you the right tow hook for your vehicle. But let's get to this install. So today we are working with a Ford Explorer ST, and when you go to install our tow hook, you'll see the door here. Actually, Mikey, if you can pop this open, we have Mikey here helping. I'll show you exactly what you're gonna see here and why you need to install our receiver, because you have no way to actual thread a tow hook into the car. So if you use a panel removal tool, a butter knife, or anything that's not sharp, but if you look in there, you have no actual receiver to thread a tow hook in. And that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna add our custom receiver and a custom length shaft with a tow hook that you can install, and it is a recovery hook. It's not just for looks, so you get stuck, you need some help, get on a flatbed, our tow hook will work for you. You'll be able to pull your vehicle onto a flatbed or tow truck. But to do this install, we're gonna have to remove the front fascia. It's really easy to remove. Before you start, pop your hood. In this instance, we have a 2-post lift. You don't have to have a lift for this. These vehicles do sit decent enough off the ground to where you're gonna be able to access everything. The only thing I would say is you may have to move tires side to side in the front so you can access some of the clips under the front area. But you'll have to pop your hood. There's 4 screws. Do you remember what size was this? 10? 10 millimeter. So 10 millimeter screws that have to be removed. And then the rest is all on the bottom of the car and the wheel well. So let's get over there. We'll show you the right side, and it's rinse and repeat on the left. For this video, we obviously have the vehicle up in the air, but in this instance, if you're doing it in your driveway or something like that, very easy to do. Crank your tire all the way to the right, and you're gonna see a couple factory push pins. You'll need a body removal or pin removal tool. You could use a flathead screwdriver as well. There's a bunch of what looks to be 7mm screws. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 bolts. And what we're gonna do is we have to unbolt all of this, plus pull these pins. There's a push pin up here, maybe even this one right here as well. We have to pull the inner liner fabric back, and that's gonna allow us access to 2 10mm bolts that are holding the front of your fascia to your fender. So this vehicle is actually missing the lower pin, but there is 2 push pins that will have to be removed here. And then there's one right up in here. This aspect, you have this whole plastic liner piece that's gonna pull away. As you notice, you have a sensor right here that does need to be disconnected. Right there, it's just a push clip. You push in on the safety and pull down. Mikey's actually gonna use a tool, a little easier to get to it.
I like to pull it back right here at this tab and then down.
Yep. Now that we have this pulled out, we pushed the inner fender liner back behind the tire. You can straighten your tire out. It actually holds the liner pretty nice. It will reveal the 2 10mm bolts that I was telling you about, but there's also a body control module harness that needs to be disconnected. So this one right here needs to be disconnected, so when we pull the front fascia off, it's not held up or bound up. And it's a simple, just like that sensor, there's a safety clip and push and pull. So now we're up in the fender. We got these are 10mm bolts. There's 2 of them. Mikey's gonna remove it. And the other one's just straight right above right there. On the passenger side, you do have 2 connections. So all the bolts and everything are the same with the push pins, but this brown connection and this body control connection here, just like the other side, push and pull them apart. And once those are disconnected, the front end's gonna be able to come off. There's just a couple bolts on the bottom side of the front fascia to remove, and we'll show you where those are at next. There's a couple 7mm bolts all across the front. Just these ones right in here that need to be removed. And those are the last of the bolts to be removed. And once all those fasteners are removed, your front end comes right off. For our install, our receiver is gonna be mounting right here on your vehicle. We're gonna be providing replacement bolts for the horn for your crash bar. So we're gonna go ahead and remove these 2 bolts. They're 13 millimeter. And now we will grab the receiver and show you how that looks. Here is our custom receiver that you're gonna be installing. It is cold rolled steel plate with a welded nut that this will be what the shaft mounts into. The nut is gonna be on the lower side of your crash bar here. And it's literally just gonna bolt right up and tighten right up. There's gonna be no difference here in how your factory bolts and crash bar are assembled and held to the vehicle. It's gonna still retain all of its strength across the board. And because we're attaching to the crash horn, it is gonna support the vehicle's weight when you do need to pull from it. So keep in mind, we make recovery tow hooks. This isn't a fake tow hook or something to be looked at. If you are in a tight spot, you need to be towed, pulled up on a lift ramp or anything like that, this tow hook's gonna work for you. Pull your vehicle right up on that ramp and you'll be good to go. So we're using a 17 millimeter socket here.
Tighten it down evenly.
Gonna tighten it down evenly.
You don't want to bend the bracket either. Right?
And you know you've gone too tight if you start flexing on that plate, which would take a lot of strength, but you're probably about 120 foot-pounds. So at this point, we can bolt the fascia back up. You can set it back in place and basically reverse the whole install. Don't forget to plug in both of those harnesses on the passenger and driver side and your sensors and button her up, and we'll show you how this looks on the vehicle, on the ground, installed, ready to go. All right, we have everything buttoned up. Keep in mind, this install is done with our prototype. The tow hook itself, in this instance, is sticking out a 1/2 inch longer than we want it. So this will be a 1/2 inch closer, but overall looks really good on the vehicle. We're obviously not gonna be able to drill the hole for you, so we just line that up and drill the perfect hole so it sticks through, so you don't have a big missing piece off your front fascia. But tow hook for Ford Explorer. This is our stealth design D-ring. We also have a feather light. The biggest difference between those is it removes the hemi-joint. So this hemi-joint would be removed, and it's a solid shaft all the way through.